Definitely keeping an eye on that recording meter. Watching you.
You can imagine me rubbing my hands for the next subject.
Yes.
Oh.
Say what?
Actually, rubbing my hands for the next topic.
You know what? I'm gonna even let Hassad start because I'm having some technical difficulties with my mic for a split second. So just bear with me, but I'll let Hassad go on this one because I know he's so excited about it. So.
Go on, Hassad. Let's see what you got to say.
For years, pretty much wanted SpaceX to be part of the league. I mean, it's been part of definitely what Braben had been saying back in 2014 and 2015 that it was a plan that we'd be getting SpaceX, and amongst other things like looking around your ship and whatnot. And what's given me a lot of hope was I was constantly saying to my friends and people in my squad that just wait for the 2020 update. Things are going to be happening, and then when things happen, we're going to start enjoying. We're going to start enjoying the game again, to the same level that we had when Horizons came out. Because Frontier for years has been leaking that they are working on a 2020 update. That's their big focus and whatnot. Why we haven't been getting that many updates other than fleet carriers, and. Well, recent times they dropped the trailer for the Odyssey update, which is happening in 2021, but not that far away from the end of the year. And space legs. And from what we saw in the trailer, possibly atmospheric landings.
Yeah, well, it's pretty clear there's going to be partial atmospheric landings. Now, the question is it going to only be thin atmospheres, or is it going to actually let you do Earthlegs? I don't think it's going to let you do Earthlegs, or if it does, it's going to be in a very limited capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm sure you guys have already introduced it. We're talking about the big topic, Odyssey. I'm excited and scared at the same time. I just want to say, I don't know if you guys did initial reactions, but that's mine. So excited but scared, and I'm scared for a few reasons.
And?
Well, all right, a couple things here. One, I think they're gonna botch the release to a point. I'm sorry, FTev. I love your game. I think you created one of the greatest games, but you are notoriously bad for your updates. So, I and especially something this game-changing to the game really makes me nervous for how the implementation is going to go through. To be fair, I don't think that's a game ender for me or any end of the world situation, but it is a big concern. The other big concern is the core of what this game is. A lot of guys who have stuck with Elite, even after Star Citizen and other games have come out and have really stuck with it, are the people who really enjoy being pilots and meaning flying their ship, because that's what this game is. At this point, it's basically a vehicle game. Let's be realistic, right? You are your ship. So I don't mind it changing, but I don't want it to change so much that it's not Elite anymore. What I mean by that is I don't want ships and what the core of the game has been for its first 5, I guess going on 6 years, to be changed to the point where it's almost a sideshow, or maybe even only half. I want space legs and I want the different things it offers, but I want it to be very much a side thing and not I have to or a main aspect of the game to a point. Be a main aspect, but don't be critically a main aspect, I guess would be the point, where you couldn't avoid it if you couldn't want to. You know what I mean?
So basically keep Elite being what it is, a space flight game, but just with the additional features of
well, yeah, exactly. And you can do missions that are space-like missions and make them equal to ship missions, but don't make ship missions worth less or something like that. Don't create scenarios in the game that you can't complete. And I don't mean specific missions, but maybe some goal in the game that can't be completed without using space legs. Stuff like that, because I don't know, because there's definitely people. I mean, the majority are excited, but there's definitely people like me and others who are a little bit nervous about it. Like, it's one of those. I'm super excited about some aspects, like walking on planets, looking at my ship from the outside. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they haven't said anything yet, but hopefully, fingers crossed, walking around my own ship. Maybe limited walking around a station. Please, please, please. Hopefully, I think things like that would be really, really cool. So I do want Space Legs. I am excited about Space Legs, but there's just these certain things that kind of scare me because it's pretty clear they're going to bring in an FPS part of this, and I just don't want that to like overwhelm the game, I guess. So what about you, Spark? You haven't said anything.
I basically welcome anything and everything to a degree, as long as there's no nerves, I think, in my opinion. I welcome anything and everything that FDev is going to offer in the update. From what I can imagine, everything is going to be fantastic. It's going to open up new doors. It's going to give a breath of fresh air. My only requests are I can walk around my ship and station, or my ship and my carrier. I mean, just being able to walk around my ship is just going to make this so much more homey. Like, as I was talking about earlier on the carrier, I feel like then I have a home within a home. I don't know. As a person who plays this game, and I've seen people struggle with this a lot, and it does happen, and I do agree, and I can understand why. They do get bored of this game because they do only follow one avenue of this game, or a couple. I'm a person that can follow pretty much every avenue of this game and not be bored, and I can always find something to do. And with this, it just adds more avenues. I basically have this game learned inside and out. There really isn't anything in this game I cannot do. And there's things even I still learn every day to this game. And there's still things I can go out and do, like explore. Like, if I just get tired of PvP, or tired of people, or tired of the bubble, bye! I can just go out and do something. Oops, sorry, monitor. I don't know. I feel like... I mean, I'm happy for new content, of course. I mean, that's why with all the delays everything's gotten for this game, especially for carriers, yeah, it sucked a lot, and I was a little disappointed. But at the same time, I never really complained because, well, I mean, this game is a maintaining game, as you guys obviously are seeing now. I'm doing BGS work. There's always something to do, and if you really need to take a break, well, I mean, it's not that hard.
I mean, yeah, no, that's a pretty optimistic and good outlook of what you think of Odyssey. But pretty much from what we know, though, when it comes to the Odyssey update, according to the Elite Dangerous fandom on the topic, like what's confirmed, quote unquote, are atmospheric landings on planets with tenuous atmospheres. Explore planets and moons by walking in first person. Public outposts and settlement. Take on contracts. Multiple playstyles: diplomacy, commerce, stealth, first-person combat, and more. Explore with unrestricted freedom. Diverse settings, objectives, and NPCs. NPCs offer endless mission variety and near infinite amount of content to enjoy. We'll see about that. Social hubs, which I will get to in a bit. Form alliances, procure services and support from engineers, personal weapons, gear, jetpacks, and so forth, spacesuits. Coordinate with teammates, multi-layer tactical environment with commanders, SRVs and starships, and no virtual reality support. Well, yeah, that. No virtual reality support at launch. Like,
Yeah.
definitely is a game changer from what has been confirmed. But the thing that I've been worried about is, like, when it comes to the first-person aspect and just getting off your ship and walking around stations and outposts. I don't want it to be entirely about social hubs, because my fear is the only place you can meet up inside of settlements and outposts is this weird big hub area where everybody goes and basically does nothing but either get missions and whatnot. I just want that feeling of, going outside of a settlement, walking around, maybe getting into an SRV and driving around near people and whatnot. I don't want to be just contained in one big area. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, I think they did come out and say that they were going to have some form of integrated combat between the three, which to me tells me you're going to have to, one, upgrade the SRV a little bit, and two, bring out some pretty powerful weapons for, FPS characters. So it'll be interesting how they integrate that and how they balance that and stuff. I'll be definitely curious to see. I mean, it certainly is the biggest update ever because this. I think this will put it on par with Star Citizen, maybe even surpass it from Star Citizen if it's done well. Because you're gonna have a fully fleshed out galaxy with ships and space legs and walking and that's.
I mean, yeah, kind of what the thing that Elite has is what Star Citizen is missing right now. And having what Star Citizen has on Elite will kind of pretty much put them on edge in a bit.
Can I say something?
Go on.
No, it's your podcast, but no. Yeah, of course you can.
I think this update will nail the coffin in for Star Citizen. I know Star Citizen has its own aspect, but with this, FDev can refine it so much better, in my opinion, than even Star Citizen.
Depends on if they do it well.
Yeah, if they do it right,
Yes.
I can see that happening.
Yes, I think this is going to finally put Star Citizen in the coffin. Because, I mean, Elites already basically can do whatever Star Citizen can do.
Well,
in my opinion.
in my opinion, I've said for a while, I think this update will make or break Elite. I think you'll either see it become more popular than it's ever been and maybe get more attention, maybe even really take off, or I think you'll see this game slowly die, maybe even crash and burn, but at least slowly die.
True. I mean, what I've been excited for, like, not just the update itself and the features and whatnot, is what comes after, because, like, I'm a big fan of lore. I'm a big fan of community engagement, excitement, and whatnot. And the one thing like my favorite time in Elite, either watching videos or participating myself, was what came after the Horizons update, with the telltale signs of an alien race being out there, possibly the Thargoids, and then the road that we paved into to discovering the Thargoids at the beginning of the wars and whatnot. Like, all that came after the big update that was Horizons. And since the Thargoid War ended, we've had until the Fleet Carriers update came, we've had pretty much a dry spell of activities. Like, we do the same things, but in terms of additional content, there was basically nothing story or gameplay wise. They even got rid of community goals and basically all the stuff that the wider galaxy was doing together.
Oh, snap! Nice.
And
I feel.
oh, sorry, what?
Sorry. I. As you were talking about the Thargoid stuff, I really do hope they make a comeback in Odyssey. I really think they will. I think that will be, for the pre-trailers and stuff we'll see, I think that will be the last thing we see, and that will be one of the biggest hype, because I think they're going to come back in force.
I mean, that's what I'm getting to, because with the Odyssey update and what comes after it, I think they're going to start implementing a lot more exciting stuff like they did with the Thargoids and discovering them and whatnot. And that's what I've been pretty much hoping for with Odyssey and the 2020 update before while it was previously known as, because it's been fairly dry. A lot of people have, stopped playing the game, but can come back and whatnot. But pretty much, there was a lot of things that FDev could have done, but I guess they've been busy on this. Well, what they've been saying is their biggest update to date. And Pretty much. I hope that they're going to be adding additional content in terms of things we can do with the Odyssey update and things we can engage with.
Yeah.
So I'm very much a fan of lore and story and whatnot when it comes to Elite. It's what pretty much got me into the game.
I really hope, like, in this next update, carriers can make a big impact. I would really like to see somehow carriers can make bombardment strikes on planets, somehow intercept or counteract Thargoids. I mean, they don't have to, but I would like to see some sort of aspect of this carrier be used. I feel like I want to use my carrier for some sort of military purpose.
That would be pretty good.
I know. I mean, I can see why it wouldn't, but at the same time, or reasons why it would be hard, or I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things I want to see in this update, and I might not see them, but I'm going to welcome whatever is in it, because as long as they don't nerf anything and they just add stuff, I'll be happy. I will just be flat out happy. And I'm not just saying that to be positive. I'm just saying that because I love this game. It is what brings me the aspect of happiness. I lived and breathed this game. I built my channel. I built my life. I built my friendship on this game. And I'm not going to give up on it no matter what. I'm always very happy to always be on this game. I know I have quite a bit of people problem in this game with a few sort of groups and people, and I get that. It's just going to be part of the deal, but at the same time, I do have people in my corner, and I just love this game. And I'm going to support it, even if it does have its dark moments, as long as they don't do anything stupid.
Yeah. Pretty much, you nailed it on the head there. Pretty much how I think of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, so that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like this game just covers every aspect I want in a video game. Obviously, I do get bored of it sometimes, and I do play other games, and I play other games with other friends, and I do like to do that. And I mean, every time I come back to, even after I take a break from the game, I have more excitement to play, to go out and do something.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of any game I've ever played, at least the one I come back to all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's replayability. If you love space, if you love spaceships, and especially if you get into the lore, the replayability of Elite is pretty up there.
You find ways to engage yourself, even during times when the game is not engaging.
Yeah, and a lot of times players, carry on the stories and stuff, even the ones that FDev lets die. So that's really a pretty cool thing the community does.
Yeah, when you have enough people driving something, things happen.
Yep.
That's pretty much what I love about Elite. Like, credit's due. The FDev has given us a platform where we can do stuff, and it has tangible results in terms of what, and consequences. Like, many stories can be crafted from pretty much everyday activities that we do in Elite, be it within the Legion or outside of it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's something they should be commended for.
Is there anything about the other topics about Odyssey you guys want to talk about?
Well, I mean, obviously there's the release date, early 2021. What is it?
Didn't that get pushed back because of coronavirus?
Well, that was originally the release date was December of this year, and then they pushed it back to early 2021. So obviously.
Oh, 2021. I thought you said 2020. My bad.
No.
Yeah. It was always going to be late 2020 until they pushed it back.
Yeah. Which I think the whole world's been going through kind of a crazy year, so I think this is one of those few years where they actually have a legitimate excuse.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't get delayed too much, but
I hear it's only supposed to be a month, and I'm actually pretty satisfied with that answer. And a lot of other game companies did this too, so I do not blame them. And even I condemn, or I don't condemn them. I even praise them for keeping their employees safe. Good job, FDev. I'm very happy. You do have good work ethics. I've always heard that your business model has been very fantastic.
Very much. I mean, it's been proven that if you keep your people happy, they do produce, well, things end up working well in the work environment.
Yeah. Go ahead, Assad. I'm sorry.
And I think like things are calming down a bit when it comes to good. You know, Everdev is a British company and currently live in Britain, and things are slowly turning back to normal here. And pretty much like people are back to work and people are doing their things. Whatever delays coronavirus had on development of the game shouldn't be too bad, but
well, it also helps in the industry they work in, being able to work from home.
Very much so. I think really the only thing that they really need to people need to stay there for is like server management or whatever. There hasn't really been any real issues when it comes to that.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of game companies taking good care of their employees during the coronavirus. I've heard Ubisoft, I think, has done very well as well. Speaking of game companies.
Well, we can certainly hope so. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean during these times we do have to understand and be patient.
Yeah, I think I'll be happy in general. Like, if they can bring it out in the first the first quarter of next year, I might even give them the first 4 or 5 months. You know, but I just don't want them to push it back till June and be like, well, we just made it early 2021. You know,
Yeah, that
kind of thing. But I think long as they keep it within the first quarter, maybe first 4 months, I think they're pretty much good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty soon. Like, I actually watched a video that someone sent me of someone actually making. Basically, the stuff for Odyssey is already in the game. Like, you can find the files, you can find the sources, and you can kind of re-render it to a degree. So I think it's just going to come down to the programming.
Well,
good news is, sorry.
They had always planned for space legs. I think that's the one thing I do find funny, and maybe you guys have heard this, is if people are like, oh, why are they adding space legs to a perfectly good space game or ship game? And it's like, in FDev's defense, they've said since the launch that space legs was always meant to be part of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mentioned it before. Braben has spoken openly about the many different features that he wanted to add, like things like atmospheric landings, planetary landings, space legs have been pretty much a goal for FDev for Elite Dangerous. It's just that things have slowed down when it comes to releasing in updates after Horizons. I mean, things have been quiet. I guess they've been working on Odyssey, according to what they say, but
yeah, I almost say it as more of a warning. So if you're one of those commanders out there who's never heard of Space Legs and thinks that FDev is just like shoving this down our throat as some new addition to save Elite or something, you know, because I've heard that from a few Elite people. Keep in mind, this was always part of the plan. So,
I mean, they have had like different features or additional features in previous Elite games. Like, I remember seeing videos on planetary landings being on Earth-like worlds in previous Elite games.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you go back to Frontier Elite 3 or 2, excuse me, and then Frontier First Encounters, which would have been 3. Elite Dangerous being 4, of course. Like, those did have planetary landings and stuff.
And like cities and
yeah, I don't think any of them had space legs that I'm aware of, but they did have planetary landings. So Drew Wagger likes to joke about that in his retro streams when he'll show. So he'll always go, "Oh, planetary landings," and we can't even get that now, you know.
I really hope eventually we get base building, and I hope eventually we can actually have kind of like a Rust.
Well, I think FDev already did come out. Let me just a caveat here. I think FDev did already pretty much come out and flat out say that base building would not be part of this update.
Well, I know this update, but I hope eventually, because I would like to see planets become cities that one you own or one you own with people, or you can fight wars over, or whatnot, raids, whatnot, or something like that. I would like a Rust or a Tokaroff aspect. I don't know, something that, because this update feels like it's going to bring back or finish what Horizons started. The whole point of Horizons at the beginning was these planets. I don't know, but that is just me.
I mean, I guess it's yet to be
Wishful
seen.
thinking.
There are many things they can do post Odyssey, and even with Odyssey, that'll bring a lot of enjoyment to the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is a big opportunity for FDev. Let's just see if they do anything with it. What's I guess kind of leads me into another topic, which is just a quick shout out that I kind of wanted to do to Commander Kaizen and his Turning the Wheel project. If you want, you can go look up Kaizen. That's Kai space Zen, who is leading the Turning the Wheel project. We are basically trying to take the Dark Wheel in-game miner faction from Shinra Desra and expand it to as many systems as I can, but specifically towards Seoul and the Old Worlds, in the hopes of triggering something with Rax of the Dark Wheel, the storyline, FDev, or something. There's been a few neat little hints that I won't get into too much detail on here about, just because they're still at this point kind of rumors, and we'll see what happens. That this might actually be leading somewhere, so maybe it's something to check out. But if you're a mystery hunter like myself, definitely a commander to look out for, and there's a lot of groups helping him. A lot of groups have signed up for it, and I know he posts weekly updates on his Discord, which you can easily find a link to if you look up his name. And yeah, so that's a pretty cool little thing going on in the community right now that you can check on. And then, also shout out to Axie with their current event, that FDev is giving away decals. So if you go down to the Pleiades, kill yourself a Thargoid and pick up a heart, and then sell it at the Astra's Axie carrier in Steropi 2, you can earn yourself a decal and make an extra 1,000,000 credits. So that's a pretty cool little thing. It's nice of FDev to throw a free decal out there to people who participate.
Oh, I just remembered something. I forgot. Remember what I forgot?
What's that?
I was actually going to ask you, out of all people, do you think AX combat is profitable?
I think CZs were. I think gibbing is. It's kind of boring, but if you're willing to do it, gibbing is. Especially if you get enough people for high-end gibbing of bigger Thargoids. But I think regular fighting, like if you're just going out there and soloing stuff, there's definitely stuff in the game you'll make more money doing. It's not like it's not like PvP where you're not making any money, but you're not going to be making massive amounts.
Yeah.
A few million credits per hour kind of thing, not, hundreds or tens of millions. Like I said, now gibbing, or if they bring AXCZs back, you can still make a pretty good amount. But those are the only two ways that I'm aware of, anyway, that you can really still do it. And make credits, that is. AX, in my opinion, is just one of the fun things to do in the game, so. Not to mention, I do hope that FDev decides to do something more with the Thargoid storyline, so.
I agree. I would love to see more.
Yeah. I mean, who's to say if they will or not, but it would be cool.
Yes. What do you think, Hassad?
Well, I mean, I'm not really an AX pilot myself. I haven't really gotten involved. I mean, back during the height of the Thargoid War, I wasn't actually playing Elite at the time. I was on my hiatus for like a year and a bit. But according to the stats I've read, CZs have been very profitable. I mean, how much do you get per kill, Michael?
I don't know. I mean, well, per kill, you could do like 2 million in an interceptor or a cyclops, 6 million for a Bassi, and then scouts were worth 10,000. But I would say a better stat was how much was the CZ worth, and you could do a CZ in about half an hour and make about 20 to 25 million. And if you were at a good team with, you could do it in 20 minutes. So you were looking at anywhere from 60 to 75 million an hour.
I remember seeing a few months ago in your stats that you've killed like what 5,000 Thargoids.
Yeah, I did a lot. I mean, I was one of the, at least for the Empire, one of the big Thargoid killers. So yeah, I killed 5,000, mostly interceptors, because I made about, I don't think it was quite at. I think it was a little below. It was like 9, but it was like 9 something close to 10 billion credits off Thargoid killing during the height of the war. Because now I practice here and there, but I certainly don't fight them like I did back then.
I mean, it is fairly profitable, but once CZs come back up, I think it'll be a lot more profitable.
Yeah, and we were doing things like gibbing to defend systems, you know, because systems would go into infestation state, and you could defend them before they went in incursion, meaning before anything burned, or you even got CZs, but you just had to kill a lot, so we would get, you know, wings of guys out there and just go gibbing all day. So, and actually gibbing, you made pretty good money, you know. You kill a Thargoid 10, 15 seconds, make a few million credits, and you're just going from basically signal source to signal source, so you could make pretty good money, so... But it was, I think the thing that really sucks is that as an AX hunter, because actually it was one of, I would say when it was still a big thing, it was probably my primary thing, the thing I enjoyed the most in the game. Obviously not now so much, but it really sucks that one of the coolest things in the game is kind of a sideshow. I won't say gone, because yeah, you still have the Pleiades and stuff, but it's kind of a sideshow, and that really sucks.
They brought back the CZs for a bit though this year.
They did for a very short time. They brought them back for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I fought in them those 2 or 3 weeks. But then they very quickly didn't. They kind of infested 6 systems. It was almost like they were testing it to see if it still worked or something, and then they just didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, I feel like I hope that all these aspects are pulling back. This next update is just going to be good.
Oh yeah, I mean we're all hoping with the next update. I mean, of course, I hope every update's good. Although I have to say, like, I think with this update, the people have been more upset with the implementation of the patches. But I have to say, I think the fleet carrier itself, which was 90% of what this update was, I think that actually was good. Like, I think even the community will tell you that. Like, I bet right now there would be a lot of people if they said, all right, well, we'll rewind it, we'll take away your fleet carrier. There'd be quite a few of them who would say, nah, I'd keep my fleet carrier. I'm sure some would rewind it too. But I'm not sure what the ratio would be, but I'm not sure it'd be as different as people think. And goodness gracious, am I just getting yanked over and over? Getting pulled in this system where I'm hostile.
Anything else we want to talk about for Odyssey?
No, I kind of mentioned the 2 Axie thing, cousin. Well, it's not really Odyssey though. Anyway, no, I think Odyssey is going to be one of those things where it's a little bit of wait and see until they start doing some announcements, right?
Basically, yeah. We'll have to keep up on it though whenever it does happen.
Well, they did make an announcement of an announcement, so I believe they said in August, or I think they said a few weeks at the time or something, which would be August. That there will be some Odyssey news, or at least they're going to start those dev diaries. I think that's what it was. So we're going to get a little information coming out, which is kind of cool. Get a better picture of what these things are actually going to do.
Yeah. What other topics do we want to talk about?
Well, we kind of covered the big 3, which was, you know, the fleet carrier, the mining apocalypse, I guess, and Odyssey. Talked about the few community events going on right now. I mean, a few things have happened since the last time we did a podcast. LL had its 5th anniversary.
Yes. Sadly, I was out of town for that.
which was really, really cool because we got mentioned in the ED.
Oh, wait, Odyssey.
We were officially mentioned in the Elite Dangerous newsletter 243 or 253. I wanted to say 243, but I'm not positive. Which is really cool. And the team actually came for our Thargoid show and stuck around to watch LL's most recent trailer, which was cool. We had our Sagi article come out, and subsequent piece with Nova Imperium, which was cool, where, you know, and that was announced on the Frontier forum, so if anyone's interested, they can go check it out there. So yeah, there's been some news going on. Oh, LL got its first gold medal in combat. That was pretty cool.
Yes. I feel like during that 5th year anniversary thing, that PvP event was probably one of my most favorite parts of the year and probably of the game. Partaking in that was amazing.
Oh yeah,
that's the point of that. With
someone who...
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. As someone who got to represent LL for the PvP department and the team winning, it felt, you know, magical. Video of that win is up on the channel.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's pretty cool when you come from a squad that was, you know, the squad of Nakan, who's one of the most famous PvPers and the history of the game, and literally founded the silent running technique. You know, it's really cool to have something to be proud of, like, you know, being the champion, the 5th year anniversary. So congratulations to you, Spark, and all the team that won, and congrats to the guys who didn't win as well, because they were, I saw the fight, they were really good pilots. You know, just wasn't their day. So yeah, and it was a great show overall, and the fact that FDev, or at least a couple other community managers, were able to be there, and not only be there but sponsor it themselves in their weekly newsletter, was really, really, really cool for us. And they got to watch a trailer, like I said, which was really cool. Which I believe both of you guys were in. I know I was in it a little bit.
I was not.
Yeah,
well, I know Hassad.
I was working with it.
Yeah, I know Hassad was in it, so. I'll let the community guess, but I believe you were in that SRV scene. I think.
Yeah,
one of them.
The SRV in the Guardian Ruin, and I was one of the Diamondback explorers in that weird space station that you can go inside of.
Roger that, Commander. I'm moving into attack.
Yeah, exactly.
It was fun to get involved with. I mean, like, it was a big event going on at our 5th anniversary. We did plan a lot of things, especially when FDev came to us and said that they're gonna shout us out and sponsor us in doing our events and just maybe even watch and take part. At that point, that got gears rolling and having to do a lot of different events, making a lot more fun, doing the trailer. Those took a lot of time, and it was a fun experience. It was a shame that I personally couldn't get involved in the events due to it happening at the same time when I was working, but I think I made up for it by participating in the trailer and also with the planning of the events. But what happened, and it was also very good that we got the gold combat medal like a day or two before the anniversary, or I think it was on the day itself.
Yeah, that was really cool. The season happened to end, and it was, and we were pretty in first, and then yeah, we got for our 5th anniversary, we got the golden comment, and we had won. I think the previous 3 months we had gotten bronze.
Yep.
We finally pulled gold. So,
like,
and
silver was just out of our reach, and then it just everything aligned to get a gold medal. Yeah, I think that was a fairly special moment. Especially thank you to everybody who actually took part.
Champions.
Yeah, thank you to everybody who took part as well in the final days of trying to keep us first place.
yeah, definitely. Congrats to us, and thank you, and congrats to all the people who helped with it, because that was a big effort by LL. which actually brings us now to our. You know what's funny is we also recently won our most recent power play medal. We weren't even going for that one, so I think LL's now up to officially 7 medals just in the PC division, and I know both the PS4 and Xbox each have at least one. So at minimum, that was our 9th medal, which is pretty cool. You know, not a ton of squads have that many.
We got second.
I know on one of the platforms we got second, not on PC. I believe we have Power Play second or even first on PlayStation, and I'm not sure on Xbox. I'd have to ask our Xboxes. I know we have a medal there. I cannot remember if it's first or second. It might be third, actually. Either way, we do have a medal there, so that's pretty cool. So. It's nice. It's really cool to have a squad that has medals on all 3 platforms too, because so few really cater to all of them, and I think it's really neat that even though I think we're technically quote unquote majority PC, there's really awesome divisions in PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, led by Umbridge Warnio, Novatsky, and Sarah, Extremo, and those different guys who really do well at running those departments, and they're huge contributors to LL and our success. So shout out to those console guys who don't get enough love for sure. Anything you want to add, Spark? I think we've covered most of the topics though. I don't think there's too much else.
Yeah, I was thinking about wrapping the video up, but first I wanted to kind of talk about what have we all been up to in the game as of recently for everyone.
What has everyone been up to in the game? Is that the question? Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let Hassad go first because he has an answer.
In the, how would you say, in the 6th year of the 37th century, there is only war. Just endless war. Conflict zones everywhere, just having to ship ships to different systems, fighting feds and whatnot. It's been just conflict zone after conflict zone. Lots of money to be made, but at the same time, a shitload of things to do.
Fair.
Built a BGS Corvette. Really proud of that. Got me a lot more active into the game recently, and I was like, time to ramp it up by getting involved in a lot more conflicts.
I can respect that.
And that's pretty much it for me.
What about you, Michael?
So what am I doing in the game? Well, pretty much the same thing I'm always doing, which is just rotating between activities to help and defend the Empire. As I'm sure your listeners know, I'm a pretty dedicated Imperial, so I do PvP. I would say AX, which is what I used to mainly do, but lately it's been mostly PvP and BGS, kind of just as needed. And when I say PvP, I mean organic. I don't mean anything organized. I do not claim to be the best PvPer by any means, but I do enough to defend some systems and stuff. And yeah, so just helping out with wars, helping out with PvP here and there, and help, try to guide the Empire towards victory, I guess.
Fair. Anything else?
No, I think I'm good with saying bye to everybody.
Well, what am I up to in the game? Well, I just got my second big boy of the game unlocked, the Federal Corvette. I have my own carrier, so I kind of been working on that. I am still working on a multitude of crates, so I'm working on my last one for a very long time, I think. At least if I have it my way. I am fairly certain I'm build happy for a while. I really hope to be able to conduct more PvP related things. Of course, patrol. Hopefully, me and Michael and others can conduct AX stuff, because I actually just looked at my video roster today and I'm actually out of AX content on my library, so need to restock that, because even I enjoy AX fighting. It's actually one of the aspects of the game where NPC fighting is actually fine work. I've been helping a multitude of people in LL as far as shipbuilding and training. You know, building crates is what I do. You guys know I'm a big fan of crates.
I'm pretty sure anybody who watches your videos knows you're a big fan of Crate Spark.
I am up to 21 of them.
We all know. I'm sure there's like 5 people who watch this video right now. We know.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm up to. I'm hoping to go to Colonia soon with my carrier if they can fix the tritium problem and the selling or demand problem in stations for tritium as well. I hope to go on an exploration journey with my carrier and basically fill in that gap between here and Odyssey. That is kind of what I want to do. But that wraps it up for me, guys. I don't know if you guys want to talk about anything else.
No, I think I'm good, Hassad.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, guys. Well, I wanted to say thank you again, guys, for doing this video with me. It has been a blessing, and I am very thankful for you guys to take part in this. I cannot stop smiling. I am very thankful, and as again, guys, this is St. Michael and Hassad. We are all from LL. You can find our page on Anara, Lavini's Legion. We are more than likely to help you with any questions if you join the Discord and want to join our squadron.
Yes, for sure. Check out LL.
Hell yeah.
And on that part, guys, I will catch you next time. Have a good
Have a good one, everybody.
Goodbye now.